Hey, what's up, everyone? I want to welcome you guys to another episode of Here's What I Think with your host, Charles DeBancy, where we'll discuss everything from current events, economics, politics, and how it all relates to business and life. And today we have a hell of a show in store for you all. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, folks, it looks like we have some drama. We got some serious drama, and it seems to be with some contemporaries, dare I say, friends, right? So what happened? As you guys know, a pretty controversial report was published by AP News. And this report had the following headline, and it said, Facts Focus, Inspector General's January 6th report misinterpreted as proof of FBI setup. Now, I want to get to that, but I just want to give you guys the backdrop of today's show. Essentially, what happened was I came across a clip that was recommended to me by Roland Martin's channel. And on Roland Martin's channel, he was responding or reacting to some comments that Stephen A. Smith made about a report that was put out where apparently there were FBI informants at the January 6th riots, which I'm sure all of us saw, at least the majority of the people watching this show. Fantastic. And that clip went viral, at least on YouTube. It has around 600,000 views now. I don't know the amount of views it's generated on Twitter and in other places. So Roland Martin was reacting to what Stephen A. Smith was saying and essentially saying that Stephen A. Smith didn't know what the hell he was talking about. So I want to quickly read from this report right here. It says, social media users are misrepresenting a report released Thursday by the Justice Department Inspector General's office, falsely claiming that it's proof the FBI orchestrated the Capitol riots on January 6, 2020. The watchdog report examined a number of areas, including whether major intelligence failures preceded the riot and whether the FBI in some way provoked the violence. Claims spreading online focus on the report's findings that 26 FBI informants were in Washington for election-related protests on January 6, including 3 who had been tasked with traveling to the city to report on others who were potentially planning to attend the events. Although 17 of those informants either entered the Capitol or a restricted area around the building during the riot, none of the 26 total informants were authorized to do so by the Bureau, according to the report, nor were they authorized to otherwise break the law, or encourage others to do so. Here's a closer look at the facts. Claim. A December 2024 report released by the Department of Justice Office of Inspector General as proof that the January 6th Capitol riots was set up by the FBI. The facts. That's false. The report found that no undercover FBI employees were at the riot on January 6th and that none of the Bureau's informants were authorized to participate. Informants who are also known as confidential human sources work with the FBI to provide information, but are not on the Bureau's payroll. Undercover agents are employed by the FBI. According to the report, 26 informants were in Washington on January 6 in connection with the day's events. FBI field offices only informed the Washington field office or FBI headquarters of 5 informants that were to be held in the field on January 6. Of the total 26 informants, 4 entered the Capitol during the riot and an additional 13 entered a restricted area around the Capitol, but none were authorized to do so by the FBI, nor were given permission to break or other laws or encourage others to do the same. The remaining 9 informants did not engage in any illegal activities. And then finally says, none of the 17 informants who entered the Capitol or surrounding restricted area have been prosecuted, the report says. So that's the backdrop of it that Roland Martin read. And he's saying that apparently Stephen A. Smith didn't vet this information well enough before he went out there and disseminated his views to the public. So what we want to do, we want to play this scathing rebuke from Roland Martin about Stephen A. Smith, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Roland Martin here.
I have no idea what the hell Stephen A. was just talking about. I know Stephen A. I respect Stephen A. Stephen A., you know sports. On this, you don't know what the hell you talking about. Like, I literally have no idea what the hell he was talking about there. How he's pissed off, and the Democrats and Trump said stuff was rigged. And y'all, MAGA is running that clip everywhere. Oh, they are saying, oh, see, even Stephen, the truth, they always know the truth. Go to my iPad. Associated Press, Fact Focus, Inspector General's January 6th report misrepresented as proof of FBI setup. The basis of what the right has been saying is that January 6th was fine, it was great, it was wonderful, but the FBI, it was a setup. The FBI, they were behind the whole deal. They were agents. They were the ones who were starting stuff. The report, this is the AP, the Watchdog report, examined a number of areas. Go back, including whether major intelligence failures preceded the riot and whether the FBI in some way provoked the violence. Claims spreading online focus on the report's finding that 26 FBI informants were in Washington for election-related protests on January 6, including 3 who had been tasked with traveling to the city to report on others who were potentially planning to attend the events. Although 17 of those informants either entered the Capitol or a restricted area around the building during the riot, none of the 26 total informants were authorized to do so by the Bureau, according to the report, nor were they authorized to otherwise break the law or encourage others to do so. That's the report. And so when Stephen A. is going on and they sat here making Trump out to be true. No, he lied. He lied. Claim. A December 2024 report released by the DOJ's Office of the Inspector General is proof that the January 6th Capitol riot was a setup by the FBI. The facts, that's false. The report found that report found that no undercover FBI employees were at the riot on January 6th and that none of the Bureau's informants were authorized to participate. Informants, also known as confidential human sources, work with the FBI to provide information, but are not on the Bureau's payroll, undercover agents, or employed by the FBI. Those are facts. And so for Stephen A. and Clay Travis and Sage Steele, all the rest of these people, let me help y'all out something. I'm about to help y'all out. The FBI and the state police and the DEA and the ATF and a sheriff's office and a local police department and a campus police department, even top flight security, doesn't come out and tell the public who the informants are. Do you know why? Because the informants are inside the groups. The Proud Boys.
So you heard what Roland Martin had to say. What are my thoughts about this? Roland Martin is someone that I'm sure all of us are aware of. He doesn't pull any punches. Now, obviously, some people don't like him. They say he's a leftist. He's working for the left or whatever the case may be. In this particular instance, let me tell y'all what surprised me. Let me speak from my vantage point. What surprises me is that Roland Martin is a regular guest on Stephen A. Smith's show. He's a regular guest. I've seen him there multiple times. So for Roland Martin to call out Stephen A. Smith so publicly, I was surprised. Now, Stephen A. Smith would have probably heard that, and I'm sure he's going to respond and said, why didn't you call me and all of that? And I think Roland Martin's going to have one or two responses. One, I don't care. I don't have to call you. Or two, I'm responding to claims as you put out there publicly. I don't need to discuss this with you privately while these claims fester. This is my point of view. Now, whose side am I on this? Nobody's side. To be quite honest with you, I'm on no one's side. I'm just reporting on this interaction between these two guys. So what I want to know from the audience is simply this. Whose side are you on? Are you on Stephen A. Smith's side? Do you think he's correct? Or are you on Roland Martin's side where he says Stephen A. Smith doesn't really know the facts of this story and therefore he shouldn't have commented on it in the first place? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show.